Aha! There we go. You with me, my dude? Okay.
And now an epic announcement from Mike's Harder.
It's okay, man. Just calm down.
Hello and welcome to Psionic Aftermath. I'm Xenodactyl, and with me is Legolas.
How's it going, guys?
We are just about ready to go. I'm actually gonna start up the game right now, and it's gonna be a game on Dreamcatcher.
TV random.
Oh yeah. Those,
Hard to talk strategy until know what they're gonna play.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad map for Terran, generally speaking, but let's introduce the players.
Shall I start or shall you?
Why don't you go ahead?
Alright. Spawning in the top left, playing for Psionic Aftermath, it is ODY.
And in the bottom right, representing Dark Society Gaming, it is Primula.
So it's gonna be a TVT. I know very little about this matchup, but I will do my best.
I really should know whether that's a wall or not, but it looks funny on the purple side.
I think that first supply depot is misplaced, actually.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think it'll play too big of a role in a TVT.
Yeah,
but
I agree. Unless the only reason why I can see that actually making a difference is if ODY went mech.
Yeah.
I did actually see ODY play a PVZ, so that's not telling us very much at all for this matchup.
Right.
But he played really unorthodox, so if you play unorthodox in one matchup, maybe you play unorthodox in all your matchups. At any rate, he's getting his double gas, so I'm thinking he's probably going to get some early Cyclones, which is actually not too far out of the TVT meta. But, yeah, we'll see exactly how much he commits to that gas and when he takes his expansion to really know anything.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Primula's over here doing what looks to be standard for just about any Terran matchup, getting a Reaper, getting an expansion on the high ground, mind you.
Yeah, just kind of playing it safe, I suppose. I'm not really sure what he's concerned about other than maybe a cheese.
Yeah.
But,
ODY floating his barracks
oh, okay. Well,
through the middle of the map.
There's the universal sign for mech. So, remember what I was saying about the only reason why it would make a difference. Wait a second.
Oh,
this is
where are these SCVs going?
No, this is a Cyclone all-in of sorts. I'm gonna put all-in in quotes, because like, actually, are they both going mech?
Well, I mean, from what I'm seeing right now, Hellions do not beat Cyclones, and that's what he's making.
Yeah, they're both going mech, and that's he needs Cyclones like pronto, and I don't. No, he's just building more Hellions. He doesn't know what's coming. And
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't really have the gas to produce those cyclones, even if he wanted to.
that's true.
I think this is just going to be a bop right here.
Yeah, once he gets that reactor, then his production's
Because these
sliced.
cyclones are unkillable.
Yeah, with the SCVs here, you're absolutely right. And it is pathable. He did not wall correctly. Extra insult to injury, right?
Yeah, that's... Okay, then.
Oh,
Well, that's
there's
a
game
GG
one.
for you, I guess.
um, there's this idea out there, and I think it's sort of true, is that, like, random players can be cheesier.
Yeah.
Like, on average. So we'll see how much that applies to ODY.
Yeah, it's very true because when you play all three races, it's very hard to remember all of the different build orders and
Right, right.
be very proficient at executing them. That's why
Mm-hmm.
typically most players stick to one race.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I imagine that would not be a fun thing to just die to.
Alrighty. Let's okay.
So it is going to be on Acid Plant then. Pretty solid map all around. I don't know of too many ridiculous things that any one race can do to really just like get a severe advantage over any others.
Okay. I will refrain from commenting on that open-ended question. Or statement, rather. It was a rather broad statement, and
Well, I mean, I haven't seen too many ridiculously crazy things on this map that I feel are completely unstoppable.
okay.
I mean, there are always strategies where it's like if you do not scout this, then you're going to be in a horrible spot. But
I mean, is any strategy really unstoppable? I'm not sure I know what you're defining as what here. Like...
I don't know that I want to get into this discussion with you right now.
Okay, okay.
We have people tuning over to somebody else.
We'll have a debate on this later. Oh, man.
Because yes, in theory, there is no unstoppable build so long as A, you have the proper execution, and B, you have the proper knowledge that it's coming. But
it would be like...
I would argue that some builds are more abusable than others.
Right. And like, at what point is... I guess really what we're getting at is like, can the map be abused in some particular way?
Yeah, and to that end, I am not entirely sure that it really can. There are some tricky things that Terrans can do with siege tanks in certain areas, um,
Well,
but like,
let me. If we're going to put it that way, I'm going to say that last season Acid Plant was the best Cannon Rush map. And I think that's something that is dependent on abusing the map.
to a large degree, I would definitely agree with that. Take Lost and Found, for instance. Those minerals are just so perfect. Why wouldn't anybody just do this?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I see. So, Zeno, what's on your mind while we wait for everybody to get back together?
Um, I am not sure I have anything interesting. I don't know,
This just in, Zeno has nothing interesting going on in his brain. More at 11.
Thanks, Lego. Okay, he's
Okay.
back!
Thank God for that, am I right, viewers? Alright,
gosh.
looks like they're both ready now. Let's get this show on the road before I come up with any other good insults for Zeno here.
Oh, goody. Alright, let's get that and then make sure our overlays are not.
So it's gonna be a ZV random this time around.
Yeah, okay, so once this game gets loaded in, we'll have a better idea of what ODY is playing as, and we can theorycraft a little bit. Okay. Well, okay, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map as the blue Protoss, it is ODY.
And in the top left, as the red Zerg, it is Dragon Eagle X. Low ground pylon.
Okay, that's good.
Not in the
Not in the optimal
standard
place, but
spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Gateway goes down, not a forge. Xeno's heart breaks a little
Oh,
inside.
no. I know where he's going with this, and I actually like, not the... Okay. I don't let... You've seen me do a, 2-base carrier rush.
Right.
I use a proper wall, but, yeah, he also does something in that direction. Not quite, like, there's a lot of minor details that add up quickly by the time you get to, like, your third base. But, the foundational premise of how he wins his PvZ operates the same as that.
Hmm.
So we're gonna assuming he does the same thing that he did in practice.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what I would do the second I saw a wall that looked like this.
Oh.
Baneling nest.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. With 2 pylons in the wall, it's like,
Oh, man.
why bother trying, like, okay, you see a full wall, right? And it's like, okay, what the heck is my opponent doing? Why does he want a full wall?
Yeah.
You know what? That wall looks very baneling bustable. I don't have to find out what he's doing. I just kill
And
him.
Dragon Eagle does spot all of this. He has yet to really respond to any of what he's seen yet, though.
Yeah.
Overlord not even quite on top of the high ground pillar either.
Yeah, the first Stargate
Yeah.
does go down, and I'd like to see him produce, like, something. Oracle, Void Ray, you know, something
Yeah.
so that he has some damage before carriers. Something to... but we'll see exactly what where he goes from here.
Yeah. I actually really would like to see a oracle of some sort,
Okay.
because that gives you scouting intel. It also gives you potential damage. It's just it's a huge deal if they do try to baneling bust you,
Mhm.
because all of a sudden you have this giant disco ball of death.
Yes, your favorite name for them.
Oh yes.
It looks like Dragon Eagle X is just trying to play normal, but like his third is
I
so
don't-
late for
Yeah.
wanting to macro against carriers.
And I really don't think that's a good way to play this out, is to just do this normally. Like, he hasn't scouted anything. I mean, he's not going to really be able to without a speed overlord, because that stalker's on patrol over in this area, and this overlord take 5 years to get over here and scout the carrier fleet beacon
Yeah.
stuff in the back.
The first carrier is in production. Something's
He's getting...
Oh, he's low on his gases were late at his natural, so he's doesn't have the gas to start his second carrier at the moment. But he's gonna throw down cannon and probably look to kill his own pylon so that he can take an expansion as his first two carriers move across the map.
Very interesting also, our Zerg player has he has 3 extra queens right now, which are spreading creep, which are good anti-air, but as I say this, he just canceled his +1 melee and is getting +1 range. I wonder what he saw that made him think of to do that. Can he see these cannons with his overlord? Yeah, he can. He can see that wall. So yeah, this wall screams, "I'm going carriers" to me.
It screams Sky Toss, at least.
Yeah.
I think at the lower levels, you're still thinking about Void Rays as a possibility. But like as you move higher up, Mass Void Rays falls off really fast.
Yeah. And he is getting a lot of Hydras instead of saturating his third. I don't actually think he can get anything done with this.
No, he can't. The first carrier is already out, so as long as ODY, I mean,
he
yes,
might get a cancel on the
cancel
third.
on the third. Yeah, that's the one thing that isn't defended, but he should not be able to break this natural.
And honestly, that's more than enough damage for these lings. They should not be trying to get in.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
+2 air weapons is on the way. And that's 3 cannons and carriers. Like, he really needs to run.
Taking the fight out here is better for the Zerg, but it's like he doesn't have enough Hydras for him to even snipe a carrier. So
Yeah. No, this is how Zergs die right here.
Shield Battery is a good unit.
No.
And now these 3 carriers are going to go across the map while Protoss takes the third.
And he's still making still making Hydras, and he's only sitting on 50 drones.
Ah,
This is not looking good for the Zerg at all. He just
no.
does not have anything to answer these carriers, which there are 3 of them at this point. At this point, I'm pretty sure the carriers can just A move, and they'll take the game. Plus 2 seconds away from finishing as well, which means that it's just going to melt through everything. The Zerg has no response at all. There's no gas to make more Hydras, and just nothing.
He's gonna get a carrier at least, but like,
Yeah, but there's still 2 more and another one rallied up. Like, it's just no anti-air.
yeah.
And carriers have, like, 400 HP. They're not gonna die quickly.
Oh, Protoss.
Well, the Zerg, I think, was pretty indecisive about what they wanted to do. And, because of that, like, he has a Desperation Spire down right now, but he has 200 gas. And there's no way you can produce enough units to take this out at this point.
Yeah.
Even pulling back the weakened carriers, like...
All the Hydras are
Yeah.
gone, the spores are gone. And
I feel for our Zerg. I really do. I've been in that position a couple of times myself, and it's not fun.
So goes the game.
Yeah. So ODY is so far 2-0.
Yeah. Will he be stopped is the question. Ah, hello, Hayden. Let's see. Any map but Dreamcatcher and Acid Plant.
Hayden is a Diamond 2 Protoss, it looks like. So this could bring the end of the Reign of Terror.
Okay, so we're gonna have 16-bit next. And,
16-bit, very large map.
yeah.
Tends to be the go-to for many a macro players.
I think with that in mind, if oh, oops, wrong. Started with H. Who's this person trying to? Okay.
I'm glad one person thinks so.
Excellent. Okay. I think, yep, okay. Starting up, 16-bit. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be a PVR. Oh, I
Well,
forgot to do the game art. Oh well. We won't know how
yeah.
many workers died instantly.
I mean, you can't just push Control R, but
Yeah, but if workers died at point A and then workers died later at point B, then
you do simple math.
yeah, math on stream. Excellent. Math on stream. Definitely want to be doing that. Alright, well, spawning in the bottom left as the blue Protoss, representing PsiX, taking the first two games, it is ODY.
And in the top right, as the teal Protoss, it is Hayden, who thinks that you have a very sexy voice, you know.
The camera is not on, but I am shaking my head.
I hope that he knows that complimenting the casters will actually get him nowhere. We're not going to give him insider tips as to what his opponent is doing. Whoa, what
I find
is...
this an
Is this a
interesting...
Nexus first?
Oh my, I think you're right.
Oh. Nexus first from Hayden.
An aggressive Nexus in a PvP.
I am not entirely sure how I feel about this.
If you were gonna go Nexus first, this is the map to do it. I agree. But why take this expansion when you don't know what your opponent is?
Oh, you know what it is? ODY was random, and in maybe 2 out of the 3 matchups, the Nexus first is a good idea. Maybe. But the one that it's not good in is PvP.
Yeah, I can see that.
It looks like as soon as these, the cyber finishes, these 2 gates at the front are going to rally units across. I'm guessing Stalkers.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get away with it, because this is a pretty, tame opening from ODY thus far. So, like, if Hayden is practiced in a Nexus first, then he should be, interesting. I'm not... Anyway.
I'm not sure what that's all about.
Yeah.
Maybe the scouting probe for ODY just came across or something like that.
Oh, I think Hayden is playing a little bit of mind games. Like, he knows that he hasn't been scouted, and he scouted the Nexus from ODY, so he's trying to give ODY the impression that...
Oh, okay. Well, a Zealot and a Shield Battery are all there is currently. Oh, the depths aren't synchronized. They could have easily gotten a few kills.
Yeah.
There's
They get
one.
Finally. Shade.
So long as they're synchronized. Oh. No, yeah, they're not. Shield Battery's too good now. Well, that's unfortunate.
I wonder how this unsynchronization happened. It's kind of rare, but it does occur.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that... I think what it was is the one Adept was actually in firing range, because they shaded in at the top of the Nexus. One was in firing range of the probe, while the other one wasn't.
Wow, look at this timing on this third.
Wow, this...
If,
Oh, ODY going for Phoenix Tech. Already has 2 with a 3rd on the way and a 4th queued up behind that.
Yeah, if ODY doesn't stop Hayden soon, he's not going to stop Hayden.
Yeah, because he's just going to have way too much money.
Yeah, exactly.
He's getting charged, and he has a ton of zealots. Zealots not very good at killing Phoenix, so these guys have free reign of the skies.
Well, I mean, at the same time, it's like, well, he doesn't have the gateway production behind this.
Yeah,
So
the Phoenix are all out of energy,
okay.
so they should probably leave now. ODY, ODY, you have to have oh, there you go.
What? A 4th?
Okay, this man is officially insane. Somebody call the paramedics. We need to make sure that he's okay.
Okay, well, we're gonna see charge slots try and come up this choke. Or,
Oh no,
do
he's
they
not
have
on
charge?
hold position!
They do have charge, okay. Oh, good
Oh,
force
force
field.
field is good though. Good pickups. He could actually kill all of these zealots if okay. Okay. That's fine. You don't have to kill all of those zealots, it's fine. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what to even say at this point. We have one Protoss on 4 bases, the other one on 2, and he's making nothing but mass charge lots.
ODY is kind of playing standard in comparison to, like, his other games, and certainly in comparison to Hayden. Hayden, I think Hayden thinks he's Mineral Thief or something, like, just mine everything. Mine out the map.
He has 1 High Templar. Hasn't chosen to warp in another. I'm guessing it's because he doesn't have enough gas. So it looks like he's just going to try and go straight up to Archon charge lot.
Okay. It's certainly a viable composition. It's a little bit funny way to get here, but...
And he's only choosing to take, like, 1 gas at each of his expansions at a time.
Oh.
Phoenix come in and they are picking up charge lots.
Yeah,
But, like, air supremacy has been established here by ODY. But unfortunately, you are going to run out of energy eventually. And you can't pick up Archons.
Yeah. I think the Archons are really necessary for Hayden. Like, without that, he just dies. But as it is, he has those Archons, so...
Game paused.
Okay, we have a pause. Yeah, I mean, we've just entered really weird land for PvP. Oh my. Okay.
Game resumed.
Okay, Observer is gonna come over, set up for ODY, and ODY still doesn't know about this 4th. He sees the probes moving over, like, because they're rallied, but, I'm not... Okay, he is moving... Okay, he still hasn't really,
Oh my, the Phoenix come into the natural, pick up all of the probes.
the Phoenix count is pretty healthy.
Yeah, and I mean, he is going to... like, the Phoenix tech is very nice, but it's not really all that great versus Archon charge lot, is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
What are... Does Hayden have upgrades? He has +1 attack. Okay. And that's it. Interesting. Honestly, I'm liking this for Hayden a lot. Just the Phoenix Ball is great and all, but they're not actually going to really help you against this composition. It's like It's the same reason you don't make Mass Phoenix versus a ton of Zerglings. You can't not pick all of them up.
Yeah, very much the case. And he's gonna go into Void Ray production instead, but those don't actually do anything to Archons. They kind of
No.
tickle.
Yeah. Little known fact, Archons are actually one of the counters to Mass Void Ray.
So, are they gonna pass? Okay, no, he's just sending his Phoenix.
This is looking quite bad for ODY right now.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it's too late now.
Because these Archons are absolutely going to decimate the Zealots, and then all of these Zealots are still going to be left over for Hayden, and ODY just has nothing at all. These Archons are just going to absolutely reign supreme.
Archons, good unit.
Yeah. Is choosing to warp in Stalkers now. Not entirely sure why. Stalkers are really bad, but at this point in the game anyway. But honestly, I don't think it matters.
I think he
Maybe to just try and take out these Phoenix, I guess.
I don't know.
Archons are fat. The first carrier comes out, but unfortunately, the Archons and the Stalkers are able to deal with that ridiculously fast. And ODY taps out. Hayden is your victor here.
Oh, I forgot to put the score last time. Oops.
Such disbelief. The fastest 4 Nexi I have ever seen in a PvP. And he simply just gets away with it.
Yeah.
Why can't my games be like that?
Because you're not in Platinum?
Well.
Because people scout in better when you get higher up?
Well.
But I mean, from the perspective of a random player, like, scouting is kind of, you almost don't want to scout, because, like, or worker scout, because if you worker scout, then you give away your race, so it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, from the way that he chooses to play random, I should say.
Why so BM versus my boy, says Warbuffalo.
So, maps that are left are
Catalyst, Redshift,
Lost and Found, Darkness.
Yeah. Lost 7 found. Nice.
Wow, that was really poorly stated, but okay, he understands.
As a Protoss player, I'm surprised you're not more familiar with the shift key.
What does shift do?
If you're in Diamond 2 and you don't know what shift does in this game, I can't help you.
What are hotkeys? What is that? What do you mean I can queue my my probe movement?
Well, it's not just that. You can queue up buildings. It's great.
Oh my. You mean you mean I can queue my probe to build multiple cannons?
Crazy, I know.
Okay. This is not ready, too nervous, and making mistakes. Pressing all sorts of buttons that probe mover. Okay. You know, actually, something that happens, speaking of shift, something that happens to me for some reason is when I'm playing, I get this bug every so often where the computer thinks that my shift is constantly pressed the whole time. So I can't do anything in the whole game.
Oh, wow.
Because, like, I have no micro ability. And it just... Yeah, I've had that happen and fixed the bug mid-game once. The rest of the time, I just die because I can't fix it in time. And can't figure out what's causing it.
Wow, that's very strange. That's not one that I've had yet. Thank goodness for that.
It looks like we're gonna have a quick break. And, let me, check the chat while we are waiting. Then I don't have to, get baited into strange questions from Lego.
So, Zeno, which color is actually the best color? I mean, we all know that yellow is great, but...
I'm going to ignore this question.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm serious. Which color do you usually win more with? Do you win more with red, or do you win more with blue?
Okay. I will give you the psychological answer to this. Red makes a person more aggressive, blue makes a person more passive. So, it's dependent on the person's pre-existing playstyle.
I see. And how do you classify somebody that plays exactly the same regardless of which color they spawn in as?
Oh, no. I don't necessarily mean that it changes their playstyle based on their color, as much as it is that the color can be a psychological benefit to the way they're thinking of the game already, as opposed to having a color that clashes with their frame of mind. So if an aggressive player spawns as red, then they should do better, whereas if they spawn as blue, then they should do worse, in theory, from a psychological standpoint.
Okay,
Highly theoretical.
So, in my case, the more often that I spawn in as blue, the higher my win rate will be. And for you, the more often you spawn in as red, the higher your win rate will be.
In theory, yes.
Okay. You want to test that? Because
Not
whenever we go into
particularly.
custom games, I can make sure that you're always blue.
When we play custom games, I play teal. It is neither red nor blue. It is more blue than red, but...
Well, I mean, then clearly you need to make sure that you're red.
Ah.
Then maybe you'll actually win some games against me.
I knew that was coming. I will spare you the brutality of citing last season's record.
Alright. Not to interrupt, but it looks as though our players are now ready. I also love how I have the stream on mute, but based on your facial expressions, I can tell exactly what was just said.
That's pretty good. Alright, we're gonna have a nice PvP on Catalyst.
A nice PvP.
Well, I mean, we don't know what either of them are gonna do, but let's at least introduce the players and then we can go there.
Okay.
Spawning in the bottom right as the Teal Protoss, representing PsiX, it is Warbuff.
And the madman himself, spawning in the top left, it is Hayden. And will he go for the Nexus first again?
I don't think he will, but For all I know, based
No
on this,
gateway!
it could be a forge.
Forge would have been down already, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. So I think you're right. I think it is the Nexus first.
Okay, so it wasn't just the fact that he was playing against a random the first time. This is actually his go-to build.
Yeah, that's really.
Who knew?
I think. I don't think Warbuff will punish this because Warbuff is a passive player, but I think if he faces someone higher up, maybe. Let's see, who do we have? We have. Hopefully Fenner is watching. If Fenner is watching, then. Okay, he is at least somewhere.
This probe very smartly has been placed so that the gas cannot be stolen.
Yep.
Interestingly, he decided not to take the second gas before second gate. Could be that he wants to go for a robo, I imagine. It takes less gas. Could also be a Twilight.
You talking about Aiden here?
Oh, no, Warbuff. I haven't actually been watching it, what Aiden's been doing, because he went Nexus first. And I'm just like, okay, well, his tech is going to be very far behind.
Okay, that's fair.
Warbuff going for the double stalker opening.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Guess he's going to take his Nexus now. There it goes.
You know, actually, I find it curious that he opens with Stalkers because Warbuff usually goes Stargate. So, like, Adepts would cost less gas. But maybe he just feels more comfortable with Stalkers being able to put on pressure in like a frontal sense rather than shading and having to micro so much.
Ooh, pretty bad supply block for Warbuff right now.
Yeah, bit unfortunate.
2 stalkers are coming across the map, and there is and Zealot.
And Zealot.
Granted, there's a shield battery as well, which means that he can.
It buys him a good bit of time, actually, and
Yeah.
you know what Warbuff should be doing is running past the shield battery and just killing probes. These stalkers are expendable because you know that, like, from the way this looks.
Oh, this isn't good though.
Well, from the way the first game went, he should be able to infer that, hey, he probably doesn't have much here.
Yeah. Hopefully he was watching that.
Yeah, I think it was, but I'm not sure he's quite formulated a correct response to Nexus first. Like, this isn't bad, but he's still behind on workers already.
This is so unbelievably strange. Probes and
in
Zealots
his face?
facing
Really?
stalkers.
Really? Really?
This man, he is actually insane.
Yes, he is insane.
These
I love
4
it.
stalkers, though. Even with this shield battery, they can fight that single stalker.
Oh man.
Pull back the weekend one, that's nice.
Good micro. Okay.
Yeah. These stalkers are kind of worth their weight in gold right now.
Yeah,
They've been doing incredibly well.
They're definitely getting a lot done now that they're starting to snowball some.
I also like to point out this Oracle that's coming out
It's gonna
is
get a lot
going
of
to
kills.
be insane. Granted, there is a shield battery in the mineral line,
There isn't one at the
in the
natural.
main. There isn't one in the natural, that's true.
He's probably
He's
gonna send
still
it to
choosing
me,
to warp in Zealots against Stalkers. That's very interesting decision. Especially seeing as though how many Stalkers there actually are.
His gas income has been pretty poor until now. I mean, now it's still not great.
This is. I mean, the incredible thing, honestly, is
Okay,
how
charge
many
is done.
probes have. Yeah.
So
It's
he can
incredible
hold this
how
now.
many probes have died, and yet he's still, what? Even on probes as of right now?
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if he.
Good stasis ward, gonna get some probes, but there was a kind of late-ish reaction, so.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not realize you could stasis warping in units. Look at that. That is the coolest looking stalker right now.
Oh. Huh.
I don't know
Fascinating.
that I have ever seen that done.
Huh.
A
I did not know
ton
that
of
either.
shield batteries. Oracle is going to reign supreme until it runs out of energy in 7 seconds.
Alas.
Is producing another Oracle. Does he have one on the map? He did have one on the map. Probably an all-army pull right there for that guy to come back. And nothing here shoots up except for a single stalker. But it's okay because the Oracle's a pacifist, just wants to look around. Until now. No, Oracle. Oracle, please! Stop wasting energy on the stalker.
I mean, he will kill it, but why?
Yeah. No, Oracle. That's a zealot. You don't need to kill that.
We're at 12 probe kills, so that's definitely something.
27 probes have died this game.
Warbuff is
Ooh, stasis ward, very nice.
up on workers. So.
That's liable to catch a great number of oh, well, not if they run in like that.
I think.
Oh, the bait!
Yeah!
The bait is real! Oh, it's so good! And there's a carrier out now. I mean, what do you even do as Hayden at this point?
I think Hayden is in a lot of trouble now. Well, he's taken his
Well,
fourth.
carriers don't actually kill zealots very quickly, as it turns out, when there's only one.
Yeah, but I think this is where Warbuff is
He's
in
still
his comfort
choosing
zone.
to warp in stalkers versus charge lots.
Yeah, that is definitely questionable. He has all these shield batteries here, so like,
The stalkers are pretty much immortal.
yeah, from a conceptual standpoint, because he's taking his fight near the shield batteries, the stalkers are actually really good.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, that's not gonna help him as he moves on to the later
Yeah.
stage of the game. It would have been better to warp in zealots, or
And,
heck, even adepts.
Okay. Hayden is still choosing to warp in mass charge lots versus a double production carrier.
No, he thinks that all he needs in this game are minerals. He doesn't believe in gas.
I mean, that's fine and all, but Archons require quite a lot of gas. Oh, and a mothership is coming out for Warbuff at the back of all of this, which means there is absolutely no detection on Hayden's side. Absolutely none.
You need a robo for detection.
Or a forge, but still, you have to have something. And yeah, this is very bad. Archons are not the best versus carriers, and carriers are the best versus stalkers. Or zealots, rather.
What was that? How could
Oh my goodness. What am I watching right now? I just watched the Archon attack this poor Oracle for so long. But the shield batteries kept it alive, and for some reason it didn't run away. Oh, the mothership is here. And these zealots are totally derping out on that pylon.
Excellent, excellent.
45 probes have died recently on the side of Warbuff. Good news is he still has 40 and 5 carriers and a mothership. And he's actually warping in sentries, which is pretty cool as well. I think unnecessary at this point. I think you have better things to spend all of your gas on. The charge lot run by, going back into the natural. Sentry's a little bit late on the warp in. They're going to get absolutely destroyed. Hayden is completely unfazed by all of this. He is hard committed to this tech.
He really has to get this damage done and keep pulling Warbuff back. Because if Warbuff gets to his side of the map, then Hayden just dies.
Well, here's a strategy for you. Send only the mothership across. And just recall everything. He has nothing that shoots up, so just recall all of your carriers on top of this guy's base and eat everything.
Yeah, I very much like that, especially if you split, if you can grow your army well enough to the point that...
God. Over 100 probes have died this game when you take both sides into consideration. It's 86 on the side of Hayden to 27 on the side of Warbuff that have been killed. Absolute insanity. It would be very bad to be a worker in this game. Warbuff is actually down to 4 probes.
Yeah, well, Warbuff's actually in trouble because he tried to move out. Like, he has superior tech, but he can't fight this army well at all. He is finally splitting his army, and I definitely agree with this, all things considered.
Yeah. He is going to come over here and cloak all of these buildings, so these zealots are going to have nothing to attack.
Yeah, actually, because Hayden has not built any mobile anti-air, Warbuff can just...
Well, any anti-air, really.
Yeah, I actually really like this decision.
He is producing void rays off of his 4.
This is really good crisis management from Warbuff. He cloaks his mining base, then he places his rest of his defending army by the shield batteries so that he chokes any attack that can kill his production. Yeah. And then he has the carriers on the other side of the map trying to shut down Hayden.
I actually think that without the cloak here, these zealots are going to win this fight.
Yeah.
The carrier has 2 interceptors in it right now. Oh my gosh.
Actually, he really needs to get minerals because at a certain point, Warbuff is going to run out of interceptors.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he's not losing the interceptors, so never mind that.
Well, he's not losing the interceptors on these carriers, but back in his base, this is actually going quite poorly.
Yeah.
I suppose so long as the mothership stays alive, realistically, all he has to do is sit on top of one building and he can't lose.
Right. So, does Hayden have detection anywhere?
No.
Okay then.
That's the short answer to that, no. He is trying to produce void rays, he's up to 3 of them.
Actually...
But void rays don't actually do very well versus carriers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's... It depends how high the void ray count gets, though. Because Warbuff doesn't have any mining whatsoever. He has...
Right.
Oh, wait. Actually, Warbuff is screwed. He has no probes, and he's supply blocked.
Yeah, pretty severely.
So what he has is what he gets.
Granted, what he has is pretty good from what I can see.
Yeah.
Like, he still has the superior tech, he just has to kill his opponent faster than his opponent can produce mass void rays.
Right. And there's the catch.
Yeah. Now, if he actually engages with his mothership and the void rays, then in theory the void rays have to kill.
Oh!
Well, they're just going to come over here and kill the mothership.
Needs a
Okay,
recall.
well,
Oh, too late.
he is going to recall the carriers, and I believe they win this fight.
Yeah, they win the fight, but now I don't know how Warbuff... Like, I think Warbuff just lost his win condition, and as a result, he's going to lose this game now.
Wow, this is insanity. I never thought I would see a PvP this crazy.
Now, Warbuff still doesn't have the ability to get probes, because he's still supply blocked.
So Warbuff is currently sitting on this nexus, these 3 gates, and that cyber. That is all
Okay,
the structures
yeah,
he has.
actually, Warbuff can still win this, but he has to use, like, all his carriers, like, or, I don't know, all may not be correct, but he needs to shut down this base to the top right. If this base goes down, then he wins.
Yeah.
He found the base, and if he identifies that as he's not going with enough he needs more than 2 carriers. He split wrong.
Yeah.
If he was
Well, the
supposed to
thing
split at all.
the thing is this: if Hayden actually realizes that these are the only structures that Warbuff has, he can just come in here with basically a ton of charge lots and take everything out. Granted, his economy is pretty in the trash.
Ah.
Oh, that's not good. He just fed a carrier. And he GG's out. Oh my gosh.
Huh.
I am so blown away that that is how that ended. I was so sure that Warbuff had that game.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I actually truly believe if he would have sent his, like, wait for recall to almost be off of cooldown on the Nexus, go in with your carriers and kill the, what was it, 5 or 6 Void Rays that he had, because he couldn't produce very many at a time.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have just sent all of his carriers over there, he might have been able to shut down that last mining base.
Yeah.
And he might have been able to find some sort of opening on that. I think he just overestimated or underestimated what or no, it would be overestimated what Hayden had. Because I believe at that time all he had was those Void Rays.
Well, here's the thing. You're on one base, you can't mine, you're supply blocked, you don't have a probe. Like, you know that your opponent is, a very greedy player. I was gonna say that differently, and took me a second to, oh, what maps are, hang on, let me, okay, we're gonna have Lost and Found. So you know your opponent is very greedy, so the question you really should be asking yourself is my opponent mining? And if he is mining, which you can probably infer, like, you really should just go attack. Like, there's no way that you're going to be able to defend another, like, so you've seen a ton of charge lot run-bys. You can't defend that with carriers, or you can't defend that with the carriers that you have, because you're trying to not, like, it's a matter of if the buildings die, and your defense for the buildings is actually the the distance of warping. that is more of a defense than your carriers.
Yeah.
At any rate,
I'm just so speechless after that. Such a weird game. Absolutely insane Protoss player that Hayden is.
I wonder if he plays all his matches like this.
I'm not sure, but he seems very confident in it, which leads me to believe that it's quite possible that this is how he plays every game. Hopefully PsiX can come up with a answer to the Nexus first Zealot charge off of 3 base opening. Honestly, Hayden reminds me a lot of you in a lot of ways. He really likes charge lots. The only difference is he is insanely greedy. I've come up with the ultimate strategy. I'm going to be as greedy as possible so that I can have so many minerals that I will be able to make an infinite number of charge lots. Because charge lots are great.
I do believe in charge lots, but I don't believe in playing techless.
Yeah. Also, I believe that if Warbuff would have continued producing oracles instead of trying to tech up into carriers, like just mass oracles, they would have just burned through zealots like crazy, and then they would have been able to go and wreck the economy. You have unbelievable defense to that. Huh?
What about the Archons, though?
Well, there weren't that many Archons anyways, and he had a ton of shield batteries, so you can just sit over top of those. But
yeah, I think
behind the oracles, you would take and get your own tech. Like you would tech up into Archons as well.
Yeah, I think it was certainly defensible for Warbuff, but like he didn't realize that this is like he just really didn't keep tabs on like the attack paths that he had to defend. So then he lost a base, then he lost production, some of his production, then he lost another base, and then he was really getting pulled apart over time from charge lock run-bys.
He also kept warping against Stalkers against Zealots, and there were so many Zealots that they just had them pinned right up against the shield batteries.
Stalkers don't really handle charge lots well at all.
No, not even a little bit. But, I'm quite curious to see how Hayden plays some of the other matchups, because we've only really seen his PvP.
Yeah, and we're gonna get another one. But,
that's what it looks like.
If
Finnerwolf has been paying attention, and hopefully he has, he'll have seen the last 2 games, and he'll be like, okay, I'm foraging you. We're going to build cannons everywhere, and you're going to have a Nexus. Nexuses are not very good at killing cannons. Who knows? Maybe this is the time when Hayden's like, okay, I've shown
I
I've
wonder if
shown
that's
my
why.
build.
Got, I wonder if that's why Fenner picked Lost and Found.
It could be.
Now that you mention now that you mention the Forge, this is a great map for Forge openings.
Forge you, man.
I should
Like,
also
take a
note,
Nexus first against me.
I should note that Fenner is not. It is not beyond him to drop a Forge.
Yeah.
But let's introduce the players. Spawning in the top right as the blue Protoss. It is Fennerwolf.
The absolute madman himself. The teal Protoss. Spawning in the bottom left. It is Hayden. Looking like he's going to go for that Nexus first once again.
So Fenner not opting for the Forge, just gonna play it somewhat standard at least. We'll see. He knows. Look at this patrol probe.
Oh yeah, patrol probe. Yep. Well, Finner is a better man than I. I would have thrown down a Forge so fast it would have made your head spin. But
Well,
such is the way of things. Maybe he feels much more confident with this opening, and he's just like, you know what, you wanna take a Nexus first, you wanna build Zealots, that's fine and dandy, I can do that.
yeah, he might just like do some aggressive gateway based, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Blink or
Like,
something.
yeah, well, even a 4-gate would do extremely well against this.
Oh yeah.
Because what is he going to have by the time that that 4-gate hits? A Zealot, maybe 2, and a shield battery versus 6 stalkers at that point. He's going with double Adept opening and a Stargate. I really like that. That works as well.
Well,
These 2 Adepts are going to be able to get over there and do an absolutely insane amount of damage.
the depths were rallied past the probe, so Hayden's probe survives. So merciful.
Well, gotta let the guy win something. Cause this is possibly, wow, much faster Twilight Council this time around from Hayden. Off of 1 gate though. Here come the 2 Adepts. Adepts are pretty good at killing Zealots as well. But yeah, this is going to be brutal. Again, the Adepts are unsynchronized. Not like it matters because the shield battery isn't finished, but yeah.
I think one of the depths took a shot at the Zealot.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
now they're gonna be fine. Never mind.
Oh, he fixed it though. He fixed
Yeah.
it.
Good job.
Well, he did at any least. Now, 7 probes have died, but it's still 25 to 33 Hayden favored. So that's the power of a Nexus first, I suppose.
There is an
You
Oracle
can
coming
afford
in,
to.
so if it... I'm actually not sure where it's supposed to go. I guess the natural, maybe. But, I guess he's just gonna have the Stasis Ward.
Yeah, because the shield battery will do quite well. Well, he decides he wants to activate the beam.
Questionable decisions. Questionable decisions.
No.
I mean, there's
He is getting damage over here with a single Adept. Oh, the battery's out of energy now, so the probes are being massacred.
Ah, here we go.
15 have died just recently.
Yeah, I guess with no anti-air there, you can stay there and burn out the shield battery.
Yeah, and this
When you're
the
playing
second
against a weird
oracle,
style, yeah.
the second oracle is now going to come in. I would send that to the natural, my dude.
He may be waiting for energy on the first one so that he doesn't even have to burn through the battery.
Yeah, he is going up to 4 gates with a Twilight. Okay, goes into the third, snipes all the probes there. Probes get pulled, running past the shield battery, running away from the shield battery. Now they're running back. One stalker's going to warp in.
Yes, the lone stalker.
Well, the oracles are like, well, we're out of energy anyways, I guess we'll leave. Warp prism's coming in now.
At this point, I think
Finner deciding to get charge of his own.
Fenner is in a fantastic position. Like,
Oh yeah, I very much agree.
he has a severe worker lead and
And
much more,
2 zealots and a stalker versus 3 zealots and 2 shield batteries. I think I know who wins that fight.
let me think about that. I'll get back to you next week.
He is going to... Well... Okay, no, he does come down and defend his Nexus, so that's good.
We have a warp
So-
prism on.
Well, the Warp Prism is set up, not actually doing anything quite yet.
I think it did have a warp in, but
Would it warp in a couple of adepts, I guess?
I think
is what
so.
happened there?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. He does have quite a few stalkers now. He's up to 5. Charge is going to finish up for Finnerwolf as well. He's going to go ahead and warp in Double Forge and a Templar Archives. Not deciding to really explode on the gateways just yet. That's an interesting choice. Just slow and steady.
Fenner, or rather, Hayden knows that he's pretty far behind, so he's trying to get some damage done with these stalkers and charge lots, but there's not very much here for this attack, and there's more zealots for Fenner, so...
Yeah. Finner is going to warp in additional zealots, so he's going to clean this up easily.
Yeah.
But... Well, did bring the oracles back as well, so there was no way that was actually going to kill him there, or do very much damage. Hayden is got 4 Nexi down at this point, and only 5 gates. Going up to a few more now, though.
He is adding in those Archons, so
Yeah.
his usual composition of choice.
Yeah. +1/+1 on the way for Finner. Now that gateway explosion's really coming in. And he has a couple of Archons as well. Now, honestly, even though all of the damage was done very early, it's kind of really evening out. And actually, I think Hayden's going to pull ahead. The only thing he's really going to be down on is going to be upgrades shortly.
Some more charge lots warping into the main, and
Yep.
not really going after anything critical.
Yeah, this really good gateway wall in front of the probe line, so no probe deaths there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for Finnerwolf, he couldn't get any damage in there. He's taking his own 4th now. Warping in so many Archons.
You know, now that I think about it, a lot of the reason, like, Hayden's playstyle is actually pretty dependent on his building placement. Like,
Yeah.
Protoss in general is a building placement dependent race, but this is more so, because he needs those in order to defend. At any rate, he's going to see this attack here, and,
Well, Stasis Ward catches a bunch of those in the
Yeah.
back, and the Archons are just going to wreck. Yep, way superior Archon numbers means that this fight is just so easily won by Finner.
mhm.
Is taking his 5th next side of this game. Ton of charge lots now warping into the main. And they're just going to go after the gateway production again, which I actually think they're going to get 1, maybe 2 this time.
It kind of feels...
Even though Hayden has a ton of gateways, where is his army? Does he have any army?
He had an army that was going across the map, but it got intercepted by, like, a bunch of Archons.
Oh my.
So, he's actually down in, his warping cycles.
Oh, did you see that? Before the Cyber Core died, he was getting +1, armor for Stargate units.
Huh. Very curious.
Okay.
Yeah.
This Warp Prism is just completely uncontested, and the Oracles are going nuts at Hayden's 5th. And there's just superior numbers on the side of Finnerwolf, I believe.
It kind of feels like Fenner wants to say, hey, remember all those charge lots you built? I can make them too.
Well, the upgrade advantage is very clearly making its effect known. Look at these trades. Eventually Hayden will clean this up, but what's the answer to wait, where are the Archons at? Oh, here they go. What is the answer to all these bad boys? Zealot's not going to... Those Oracles just killed the Nexus.
And if by some miracle, Hayden holds this next Zealot Archon attack from Fennerwolf,
there's no way. Look at this warp in. So many Zealots, so many Archons.
You know, this kind of reminds me of like a direct strike game. It's like, let's just make Zealots and Archons an A move.
And Hayden finally falls to mass Archons with 2-2 and Zealots. GG's, but does it actually leave the game? Okay.
I don't know.
He's taking another base up here as well. I mean, there's nothing you can do at this point. Why,
Delay the inevitable.
yeah. I mean, look at this. There is 10 Archons.
I cannot answer that.
Okay. Oh my. That really bothers me when people do that. They say GG and they just and then they don't leave. Why are you wasting my time here?
I would say it's not proper form, but it is what it is. Moving on.
Hayden says in chat afterwards, Zealot are indeed OP. Either win with them or lose to them. Oh my. But kudos to Hayden anyways. He brought the score from 0-2 to, what is it, 3-2 now? Or 3-3, I guess after that
No,
match?
it's 2-3 in PsiX's favor.
Okay.
Did we play Catalyst?
Yes we did. I believe Darkness and, Redshift are the only two left.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, good times on those maps, for sure.
Redshift it is.
Lesser of two evils.
Yes, yes. At least for most races.
I don't know, I like it.
Oh.
Ah, there we go. Gotta be able to watch them probe deaths, man.
Oh yeah, it was in particularly critical. Not the last game, but the game prior.
Oh, jeez. Over 100 worker deaths. Ugh.
Okay, did I do everything right? Ready.
This is gonna be yet another PvP, I guess.
We're just getting lots of PvP today.
Yeah. Even when they play random,
Yeah.
like the gods are conspiring against us or something. No, that's not true. Ah, Redshift.
Alrighty.
Did they add some rocks to this map?
It's had rocks.
In the middle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I never noticed this before.
Spawning in the defensive color as the blue Protoss. Representing PsiX, it is Fennerwolf.
And in the top left, spawning as the aggressive color, it is Tolaz, I suppose. God, it's actually very hard to read whenever it has capital letters in the middle of the word.
Yeah, like,
Tolaz.
are we supposed to read that as Tolaz, or are we supposed to read this as 2LA easy?
I'm not entirely sure. Your guess is as good as mine. Interesting wall by
Yeah.
there. I think that goes down to a misplaced pylon. The not playing on this map very often coming into play here.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Getting a bit of lag on my end here. Can't tell if it's me or...
I'm not getting any lag, at least that I've noticed.
Okay, maybe it's just me then.
Hopefully it clears whatever it is.
Now, one thing that will be interesting to see if any of these players decide to do the cheeky pylon spot where you can warp in adepts and other such units and have them come into your main.
I think actually Fenner is in a lot of trouble with the gas deal and this botched wall.
Oh, I didn't even notice the gas deal. That is brutal.
He's gonna take the gold, and I think it's more of those you kind of need to take the gold because
Yeah.
you botched your wall.
Fortunately, that gets scouted immediately. Oh, he cancels.
Ooh.
And instead moves it. Interesting.
Ooh. Okay. I like. All things
Oh.
considered.
Going up to 4 adepts?
You know, Zest actually did this thing recently where he went up to 6 adepts in
Yeah.
PvP. I don't know if that's what Fenner has in mind, and I'm not really sure, like, the reasoning behind. And we're gonna get the block. No!
Oh my. Well, those adepts are going to get a few kills.
This is painful.
But there are, well, only 3 have gone down so far. And both adepts are going to die for that. Okay. Well, I mean, all things considered, I don't
we
think
are
that
gonna
was
get a-
actually that bad.
We are gonna get a 6 adept opening.
Interesting. That is actually so cool. There is going to be no answer for this oracle, however.
You know, actually, because your gas is stolen, I like going with the 6 adept opening.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I believe this gas geyser can see that, there is, no battery here. Which means that this oracle...
There is a battery being built, but it actually, I was gonna say it doesn't cover the gas, but that gas is not being mined from because of the gas cap.
Ooh, this oracle already had 8 kills. Goes right into the natural.
Yeah, that's
Actually could
definitely
have got a 9th, but decides not to. There's a 12, 13, and this is just, yeah. That's oracles for you.
Yeah, they can certainly end games on a dime like that.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of one of those, like, everything that can go wrong did go wrong games.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just has your gas stolen, so you're forced to go for adepts. Adepts not very good at shooting up, and your opponent went for an oracle. Very tragic series of events. Alright. So, score is tied up now.
Yeah.
Winner takes
Match
all
point.
this match.
And no, I'm not playing.
Oh my. PVZ on Darkness. Zeno, what are your thoughts on that? You see, because I already know what his thoughts are on this.
It's broken! Broken, I say!
Alright. Take it down a notch for those of us blessed with the gift of hearing. Oh boy.
I mean, from a certain standpoint, there's gotta be an adaptation for this map, but I just don't know what playstyle, like, the map, you spend so much time, you're slowed down from the, having to account for the ramp, that
Yeah.
it's hard to play the fact that it's a large map as the Protoss. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah. I mean, it is possible to wall this off, but it is not the easiest thing in the world
Right,
to
right,
accomplish. And it's one of those things where if you have a pylon in the wall, you just feel very insecure.
Mm-hmm. Well, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, PsiX's last hope, Snap XD.
Playing as Zerg. And winning last game, hoping he could close it out for his clan, it is Tolai's, the Protoss.
Okay. He knows he already has to put a pylon in the wall, so he starts the wall with a pylon. That's interesting.
Probably his second pylon is going to go somewhere over on the other side, perhaps close to his nexus.
Yeah.
Cyber goes down. He's going to go ahead and drop the pylon.
Standard opener from our Zerg. Nothing.
It isn't pretty, but I believe that this will work just fine. Probably one more gateway / Stargate of some sort to go down here.
I'm not sure why he chose to put this pylon here. He didn't need to put the second pylon in the wall. At least I don't think.
Yeah, a hex over could have been fine as well. Back on the other side of the map, Zerg just doing very standard Zerg things.
Things are out, chasing the probe, and soon there will be no scouting for our orange Protoss.
Oh, interesting. That probe didn't actually have to die, but it's okay. Going up to a third, putting a robo in the wall. So no Stargate opener.
I question this decision. So, when you open Robo, you generally want to be aggressive. So you kind of want to hide the fact that you opened Robo. So why did you put it in the wall?
He does throw down the Twilight, so I wonder if this is going to be some sort of...
This feels like a charge lot all-in, is what this feels like. It just feels...
Well, he would have stopped building probes, though, wouldn't he? He's at 35 now. You usually stop at 32, and you would have pulled off gas ages ago.
Does he? No, he's definitely overprobed for that. You're right. There is another charge slot all-in that opens the same way, but it gets Archons.
Yeah.
So it has a higher probe count and takes gases. Obviously, because Archons.
Oh, it's Dark Shrine. Okay, so this is just a different variant of the Archon opening.
Yeah.
He is adding on 4 gates, which I believe means that he does want to go for that charge lot pressure, which he has not started charge yet. He also hasn't taken any additional gases either.
No, I think this is just a DT into Archon drop, followed by probably an expansion. Because he should have a... actually, no, he has a ton of gateways. Where's your charge, then? I am very lost.
Snap getting roaches on his side of the map. The creep spread is fantastic thus far.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very high praises for me for that. I love Zerg's great creep spread. Hasn't actually connected his main and natural creep yet, but that could be overlooked for now. Just so long as he drops it with some overlords later. DTs are coming in, Spore is not done yet.
They're gonna get a queen at least.
Yeah.
Here's
They
the...
could focus down that's... Oh, the Overseers here and Roaches are as well. They need to hot pick up that right now. Oh, does save all but one.
That actually is kind of painful because he's not going to have the second Archon.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
So he's just flying
Looks
home,
like,
sort of.
yeah, he's probably gonna go ahead and warp in that other one, but that did want to make sure he pulled back a safe distance away. But I can't really see this getting a whole lot done because there are plenty of roaches out. It looks like 18 of them. Or 16 of them. Quite a few. It's just... This Archon harass should get nothing done at all.
It's going to look
Well,
for some openings.
Does have some openings actually. It's gonna come in here. Looks like it's gonna try and grab a couple of drones. Well, okay. He decides not. Takes a lot of damage on that prism with the spore crawler. That's very sloppy.
I don't think he was looking at it. I think he queued it to exit because he was doing something. Like, it felt like he dropped, got some damage done, went back to...
Well, just find an Overlord. That's good, at least. Something. But yeah, this little bit of harassment hasn't done hardly anything. Does have a bunch of Zealots and 2 Immortals at home. He's continuing to produce that. What do you... Oh, he does have a second pylon there. Good on him.
Okay. They are no longer dripping.
Interesting. Wow, look at this grief spread. I am in love. So nasty. So disgusting. So good. Just loves juggling those Archons. Just gonna find Overlord. Overlord just flies away. No, you leave me alone. Warping in and more DTs to make more Archons. Interesting that he hasn't decided to trade over to the Templar Archives, go for Storm or any of that.
I think he's just wanting to kill his opponent with what he has now.
Perhaps. I don't know that that's really going to go over very well.
I agree with you.
Quite a formidable force. Getting his Infestation Pit, Macro Hatch, a Nidus now this. This is cool.
It's a really good way to abuse the map. Like,
yeah.
Hey, you have recall? Well, I have a Nidus, so...
Yeah. I was watching Snap do some pretty nasty things against Terran earlier with a Nidus. It was quite cool. Oh, free Archon, free Zealot. Okay. There's a little bit of a bad pathing there. Ton of charge lots. This could actually go quite poorly with no Banelings around.
Yeah, the Roach Hydra count
The Roaches
really...
might be able to tank.
If they get into, like, a nice place that they can bunch up...
Yeah, like at the top of this ramp, for
yes.
instance.
Then, like, it's kind of funny.
Oh. Okay. Shaving off a couple of Zealots. Okay, the engagement starts. Looks pretty good for the Zerg, honestly.
Yeah, that was a really nice
my
location to take that fight. Like, he got the Warp Prism, I think. Yeah, he got the Warp Prism.
Oh, look at these changelings trapping that Immortal. That was so good. This Immortal can't quite make up his mind. Doesn't know if he wants to flee or fight. Okay.
I think we... Oh. I think you're lagging.
Okay, we're back. We're back.
That was...
Yeah. Sorry about that. One of the side effects of living out in the boonies. Not, Oh, this is actually very cool. I wonder if he's going to try and use this Nidus to reinforce.
I think so.
Oh, look at that. Back at home already getting the Greater Spire as well. He's got his transitions planned out. His queens are going to greet these zealots and DTs. And it looks as though they're going to just kill everything. Transfuses are insane. But the DPS of these Protoss units is pretty high. Wow, look at that.
No. Bye-bye.
Well,
Oh, Zealots.
drones. Oh, the Nidus is used for a retreat. Who knew the Zercad mass recall? No detection for these DTs. But they get out through the prism anyways. Oh, the Hydras are really fast on creep though, so they do grab that. 2 DTs inside. Hidden Nexus up at the top. Right corner.
Yeah, I think... Given the map, it's really hard for Protoss to hold a normal expand path, so it's probably better to rely on recall.
Snap really needs to take more expansions and transfer some of these idle drones, but is going to come and grab this Nexus.
Who needs expansions when you're maxed?
I mean,
I'm
how do
kidding.
you remax though?
I'm kidding.
4 Broodlords coming up for Snap. 5, I'm sorry. Never mind, I can't count it all. There was like 7 of them.
I
They wouldn't all fit on one screen.
I followed the exact same movement you did, I think.
Yeah. Probes are transferring over to the Hidden Nexus.
Did they walk
Snap
over
has
there?
no idea that that exists. Huh?
They did walk
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, they walked. There's no need to use the recall right now. Oh, these broods. Oh my gosh. There is just no answer for these, and they are going to do disgusting damage. The Roach Hydra are going back home?
Yeah, they're Snap knows that Protoss is trying to counterattack, so he's just gonna keep the pressure on with the Broodlords to kill the base, and then
Well, they might kill... No, they're not going to kill that Nexus, apparently. Oh, Rando Colossus out in the middle of the map. The Broodlords are... Oh, well, there's GG then. Yeah,
alrighty.
once the Zerds, if you don't have anything that shoots up other than Archons, you're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
So PsiX takes the victory in the end. Very well played by Snap.
Yeah, well done. Those are some interesting games in that series.
Oh yeah, especially Mr. Hayden. True MVP, honestly. Taught us a new way to play Protoss. Just build nothing but charge lots. Absolutely nothing but charge lots.
Yeah, I don't know if I would consider that viable as much as I maybe a little bit cutesy, niche.
Interesting nonetheless.
Yes,
Apparently
yes.
mass charge lots beats carriers, by the way.
Oh yes, apparently.
As we learned.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's see. We just had our VTL week 2 match, and Did this get moved? Okay. It looks like we will also be having our this is ATL, right? Yes, ATL America's match will be in a couple minutes. And I don't know what channel that will be on. But if it's not here, it will be on the second channel. And then... oh, I see. On this channel, there will be a friendly match. The second channel will have the ATL match. And then tomorrow, there will be another friendly, 3 diamonds, 1 master. And yeah, that's all the stuff going down. So stay tuned and, well, actually switch over to the other channel. And then if you want to come back here, you can. But yeah, we'll all be rolling out shortly. See you guys later.